Sentire Media.
Well, hello to you on this 6th day of February at 7:39 on a chilly, foggy
2 degrees.
2-degree Saturday morning. My name's Jason. There's Ashley. We live in a little town called Piobico, Italy. And technically speaking, we still have an activity called La Tavola Marche, but
We will see.
we'll see if that is true.
Well, thanks for holding on and our inconsistency. We thought we'd try to jump back more than every 6 months and do another one a little bit closer to the last. So let's give an update on what's been going on. The last time we did the podcast, basically it was all about Lardo, lockdown. We hadn't gone anywhere but the grocery store. Well, thankfully now we are in Zona Gialla, yellow zone.
They've split Italy into different
Colors.
So it's white, which is theoretical. No one's really been
that doesn't
in
really
white.
exist.
Yellow, orange, and red.
Yes. So we normally have been in orange for most of the lockdown, and that means you can't leave your town, and you can really only go out for essentials, the grocery store, the pharmacy. And now we are in yellow, which means we can go out to lunch. Woo!
Apparently, COVID comes out and gets you at dinner time.
It's dark. It comes out at dark. So
Lunch is okay, then.
lunch is okay, and now we're able to move freely within our region.
But cannot travel unless it's a necessity or health or work outside of the region of La Marche.
Exactly. So that meant as soon as we settled into Zona Gialla, let the restaurants kind of recoup and open back up again. And a few days later, we went to lunch in Fano with Gaggi and Rossana. And let the hijinks ensue.
Now, this was the normal place we go to, La Nadia.
With Gaggi and Rossana.
With Gaggi and Rossana, which has been there for 100 years, I'm sure, is a very family...
It's an old school institution. Like, this is where... all the oldies, like they all know the owners.
It's nice. It's not a trattoria or a...
No, this is the older clientele, so this is perfect for them. And
good fish.
Oh, beautiful. Now, the
Simple.
locals will say a little high price for the portions.
It's not.
It's not. I mean, it's lovely. Anyway, they were completo, which means booked. So I said, let's go to Ristorante Al Mare. It's another one right near there that we've never gone to. It's a little bit fancier. And
Modern.
a little modern. We didn't know, but we'd heard it was good. So we thought, let's try something else. And so we meet and go to, first of all, before lunch, we set up this lunch date. Gaggi's oh, shoot. There's the phone call from Gaggi. One moment, please.
Okay, I love it. I speak to Gaggi no less, and this is no hyperbole, twice a day. He calls twice a day.
Consistently.
Now, this is my kind of phone call. It lasts anywhere from 60 seconds to 5 minutes. He wants a little...
5 minutes would be
5 minutes is a long one, like we're talking about something. He just wants an update, what's going on, what we're doing. I like it.
He wants the weather report.
I love it. It's just... Sometimes it's in the evening, it's like, oh, God, because we're like watching something or I'm in the middle of something, but I really, really like that. And it's not a big deal. It's, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's the weather like? What are you doing today?
And he just grunts.
And he grunts a couple of times, and then, okay, talk to you tonight. I like it.
Sometimes he blows us up in the evening, though.
Sometimes I ignore the phone. But
and then he starts calling like a stalker like every 5 minutes. Where were you? Pick up your phone. Anyway, we were just about to tell a funny Gaggi story. So Wait, before we even go to lunch, now once we get the date set, Gaggi's got a mission for you.
I don't remember.
Pick up dead rabbits.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. So they ordered our neighbors up the road, Pia, Ida, Olavo, and Menko. It's two brothers who married two sisters.
They're not sisters.
They're not sisters?
No.
I've thought this whole time they were sisters.
No, they're definitely not sisters.
Okay, whatever. two brothers married two ladies, and they all live in the same house.
Yes.
They are all in their 80s, and they are tough as shit.
Yes, they're awesome.
They are awesome.
Gaggi always told us that they would outsurvive us.
They will. Anyway, it's time to slaughter some rabbits. So Pia slaughtered rabbits, and Rossana bought some rabbits and wanted to give them away. I don't know, or
She
took
was
an
keeping
order.
a few. Yeah, she took an order. It's hilarious. This is how the doctor's wife operates. Like, she knows people.
She knows people.
So it's like, you want a rabbit? I know a lady. So
So-
Jason had to go pick up.
8 dead rabbits and bring them to Fano. They were skinned and everything, but it was a bag of bloody rabbits.
Which is also means it was really nice that they're all prepped out in that sense.
Of course. Yeah. No, you don't expect ladies in the city to peel rabbits.
No. So that was hilarious. So we had a van full of dead rabbits heading to Fano. And
So moving the story along,
Yeah.
we get out of the car, we're walking up to the front door, and he takes one look at this, and like the building is modern and the door is modern, and you can see inside it's all weird art and stuff. And he goes,
he looks like a cat or a dog who doesn't want to all of a sudden get into their like crate. He starts backing up.
the ladies go through the door. I'm about to walk through the threshold. He goes, Jason, do you want to go to La Rustita? Let's just go to La Rustita. And I'm like, huh? What? He goes, yeah. La Rustita is more of a family style, like much more casual.
It's just like grilled fish salad.
Good food, but not a nice lunch. Like,
Yeah.
no, I shouldn't say that. That's mean. Just a more casual
Yeah.
lunch. And we were kind of dressed up. So, of course, the ladies poo-poo this. We sit down.
No, we didn't even poo-poo it. We just totally denied the idea. We just walk in and take our...
Yeah, they just walked in and sit down. So the waiter, we look over the menu. Gaggi looks over the menu, throws it down. This is a cagata. This is bullshit. No, it's a lot
He
of...
refused to order the wine. Said I had to do it.
It was a lot of like infusion, like a lot of Asian infusion. Remember, out here we're 10 years. Oh, this is more now. Asian, kind of Asian infused cuisine was kind
like
of the
early 2000s.
90s.
Oh, well, that's on par.
90s.
So we sit down, and he's like, these tables are stupid. These tables are ugly. Why would they... Who picks these tables?
Okay.
We're like...
I will give him one thing.
It was hilarious. We're like, it looks really nice. Like, it's a semi-modern looking place. They had a cool little fireplace in the back. It's right on the water.
But it's one of those places where it's form over function. Like the pitchers for water.
Oh, that... Yeah, I didn't
The
like
pitchers
that.
for water are these weird modern-y things. You go to pour them, and the water just pours all over the table. Everyone at the table tried to pour water into their glass, and it just went like
everywhere.
The tablecloth was soaked at the end. So it's like, all right, they look pretty, but they don't work. So
So the waiter comes over to take the order, and Gaggi says, "Go ahead."
Gaggi goes, yes. We're ready to order, but we refuse to order anything off the menu. Slams the menu, puts it on the table. Goes, what do you have that are special today? And the guy has no specials, but he just starts, off memory, giving us all the pasta dishes. Every time he would give one, tagliolini with frutta di mare in bianco. Gaggi would go, nope.
And just shake his head slow. Arms, body language, sitting back in his chair, arms crossed.
Strozza pretti con ricci di mare.
Nope.
Gnocchi con whatever.
So Gaggi does like the weird hot chick move at the end of the list and decides to order a pasta not mentioned with a sauce. And he's like, we don't have that pasta. So that Gaggi wanted like spaghetti or something, so whatever it was, and they were like, "No, we have." And Jason's like, "Let's just get the
most common one, tagliolini with the sugo di mare, fruit."
And he's like, "Fine,
in bianco." Fine. We end up getting the two most common things that you get in any restaurant: that and grilled. They're the finese.
I ordered
fish.
Packery with ricci al mare.
Ricci
al mare. That's
sea urchin.
Yes,
okay.
And it was fantastic. And then we got a grilled fish and a fried fish.
Grilled fish, fried fish, and salad.
Yeah.
Like the typical order that we get. It doesn't matter what restaurant you go to.
No, but they brought out, because this is kind of a fancy restaurant.
They brought out like a amuse-bouche, like little tasting things. Like these are gifts from the chef kind of thing.
Yes.
As soon as they sat them down, I was like, oh, shit, we're screwed.
Like, if it was just Jason and I, I'd be like, oh, this is fun. Or even with Rossana, she's into it. She tried everything. She wasn't necessarily into it all, but she would try it, even if it's just to piss off Gaggi.
Yes.
I don't know if she really liked it.
I think she loved everything just to piss him off. So he's now at this point he's in Gaggi mode, so he's playing into it a little bit. But I have to admit, all the things that they brought all the like serving things are ridiculous.
Like the plates were humongous, or it was all presentation.
Just
but
trying
whatever.
real too hard. Anyway, it was all Asian infused stuff. So it's like these little fried fish balls with wasabi. It's fried fish skin with sesame and like soy or sesame oil on them. It was a pickled daikon radish. They looked at it, they were like, what the fuck is this?
They thought it was fish.
Then
they're like, oh.
I'm like, this is ravanello. He's like, no, it's not.
Because why do they serve it like this? The whole thing was like not a fan.
The coup de grace in Japanese teacups in a Japanese pot was a shiitake mushroom and rosemary tea.
They called it a tea, but it was a broth. I liked it.
It didn't go with anything.
Nothing. Gaggi refused. He sniffed it and didn't understand what it was
this
for.
Smells like dirt and rosemary. Like, you like mushrooms. He's like,
not these.
Not these. It was weird.
Rossana was very complimentary. The fish was all cooked perfect.
Oh, the fish was
Everything
cooked
was fresh.
It was fine.
We would go back, Jason and I.
We would go back.
And Rossana was so funny. She was like, this is why I don't go out to lunch with Gaggi. And of course, we ran into other people from Piobico, and which is funny because everyone just wanting to get to the coast when things open up. But Jason and I just silently, we were cracking up across the table at each other, just like, this is perfect. Like, it was just highly entertaining. He had his little temper tantrum and then continued to eat once the, grilled and fried came. But it was just
the fish, the main course cooked perfectly.
So was
In fact,
the pasta. He liked the pasta.
The pasta was beautiful. It was some of the best mixed grilled fish we've had in our area. I did the trick where I went after when coffee was there. I dropped my credit card to pay, which really pisses him off. He doesn't like that. That's a big no-no. So I thought, why not end his horrible experience by being
pissing
shown
him off
up
even more.
Yeah.
So it was an enjoyable excursion to the sea, that's for sure.
And it was nice to get out, and then we had to run home because we have a sick cat.
Our sweet boy cat, our big fat boy cat. Poor guy has a kind of upper urinary issue, and they had to put in a catheter and all of this, long story short. But to go to the vet 2 different times within like 3 days, it's hilarious because, first of all, it's just a show of all the dogs and cats and stuff, which always just cracks me up. But really, in a funny way, the waiting room reminds me of the line, the coda at the pharmacy, because it is a full-on investigation, interrogation, just questionnaire, questions, whatever you want to call it, of why you're there. What's going on? Do you have a dog? Do you have a cat? Where do you live? How long have you been here? And then they just start going on and on. Are you married? Blah, blah, blah. And then...
What's wrong with the cat?
What's wrong with the cat?
Has he been in here before?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so-and-so. They're very bravo.
This is not the vet, mind you. This is just the people waiting.
Yes, and then every time someone new comes in, we start the interrogation, investigation all over again. And who do you know? And, oh, does that mean you know? Do you know the hair stylist? Blah, blah, blah. And it's hilarious. I enjoy it so much, the waiting room. Also, I was talking to my sister after coming home from the vet and didn't realize, we have realized, but at times we kind of forget.
Well, we take it for granted.
Yes. The cost of cat care or going to the
veterinarian
vet.
Care. So the first time we took him, he got his blood work and she did all the things. I think,
he got cortisone, antibiotics, and a what's that? Just a saline drip, and it was $30. Not bad.
Normally, when we take a cat, if it's not anything big, it's either like free, or just give me 10, 20 bucks in cash. And
It's so nice.
it's so nice. The last time we went for when he had to go back again recently, that was much more intensive. They put him under. They put in not a permanent, but a more catheter.
Go home catheter.
They gave him an sonogram to see his bladder and his kidneys, and that was a big one. That was €100.
Exactly.
I've never ever paid €100 at the vet.
Highway robbery. The vet is so funny, too. The cat is so fat. He had to give him kind of a double dose of the tranquilizer. He just wouldn't go down. And the vet kept saying, "Oh, Chicho. Oh, Chubbs. Did you have 2 cafes this morning?" And it just kept cracking me up. What did you have? 2 cafes?
Anyway, I think he dosed him too hard because this cat was out of it for basically 24 hours.
I know, poor thing.
So he'll be fine. He goes back today, gets his catheter out. Hopefully we can get him out of this house because
he's been stuck inside and 5 cats stuck outside.
Oh,
it's
my
like
God.
some sort of Hitchcock horror film where you look up and there's 4 cats in a window just staring at you. Let me in.
He wants out. They want in. It's disturbed the natural balance of things at the house. And trying to keep a cat that's normally kind of an inside-outside cat and is free to do what they want inside. He's real mopey. I think
know.
He feels better. He's
got a little depressed, but thankfully it's coming to an end. Hopefully he's better. Other updates.
We have a window of high pressure right now while the northern part of Europe and the UK is getting battered by the beast from the east.
Yeah, Holland, tons of snow and ice.
Going across the channel or going across the North Sea there over to the UK and parts of northern Germany. And we've had beautiful weather for the last few days. Yesterday was 18 degrees.
Say it again.
18.
That is warm.
That's too warm for the
That's
beginning
like
of
May.
February. Yeah. No, that's a nice day in April. Sure. But 18, it's too warm. So it looks like the salamis are almost done. So it looks like I chose correctly because if this was 2 weeks after we made our salamis, that would screw them all up. This is supposed to last through the weekend, and then we'll see. Normally, we do get a little blast of air from the south. They call it the Scirocco, and high pressure sometime in February.
Our farm is totally green. We burn all the brush.
Yeah, we've been burning brush. We're green that way.
Making teeny tiny stars up there in the sky. And Jason loved it. It felt so good. The past couple days to clean everything, like clean all the brush off the hillside, bring it down. And
just to hear bugs buzzing again and birds singing in the morning and owls hooting at the dusk, it's just like, whoa, what's going on?
And shoulder update, he's back, baby. He was doing...
Oh, yeah, it's all back.
He was, what was it? What's the...
Weed whacking.
Weed whacking. That's the number one sign that he's back. I posted a photo yesterday of the city ham, the homemade city ham that we made. Or I don't make anything. And there were a couple questions. Do you want to just really quickly, I know you never want to write it out, but for those who listen, how did you do the brine?
It's a 3% salt solution. Just weigh it. So just weigh everything. So 3% of salt to however much water you have, whatever spices you like. Do not if you get good meat, do not go and get chemical salt, pink salt. It's totally unnecessary. It does, however, give the ham the color you're looking for. So our ham didn't have that red. It was still... It had in color, but not like what normal hams have. And then whatever other spices or herbs you like to throw in there, and then you have to do a calculation. Go online and look for a ham brine calculator, and you put in the weight, and it'll spit out the amount of time and the amount of liquid you should have. It's really easy.
And explain city ham versus country ham.
Country ham's more like a prosciutto where they put it under the salt and then take it out of the salt and hang it to cure. City ham is under a salty brine, and then you take it out of the brine and then you let it sit for a couple of days, not weeks and weeks and months basically a country ham. The research I did from like Tennessee and all around there, it's a version of a prosciutto,
which is why we can't really find like a regular American idea of a ham in the grocery store.
Of course you can. Prosciutto cotto.
That's what I was just going to say, though. But
That's boiled ham. That's city ham.
But that's up for sliced meats. Like, you don't get it like you would, let's get a ham for Christmas, I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, you would get a...
because they're all being used, really, for curing or making the deli meats.
So I didn't do the whole leg. I did a piece called the culatello. It's one of the two muscle groups of the prosciutto. It's the fiocco and the culatello. Look it up. Just if you want to do the whole thing. But obviously, if it's the whole one, the more it weighs, the more time it takes. The bone takes more time. So
this culatello is like
5 kilos, so 11, 12 pounds. And it took 14 days, and I should have left it in another 3 or 4. And then you cook it low and slow, or you can boil it, or you can do whatever you want with it. I didn't do a disgusting sugar glazed shit. I'm not into it. Don't like it.
Well, we just wanted it
just normal.
We thought, I don't want to mess this up at the end.
You can also smoke it if you want. I thought about trying to smoke it.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. Someone had asked if they could do the same way you brined the ham. Could you brine pancetta to make bacon that way?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I've never made bacon.
Okay. Just curious.
But it does do something weird. It does change the fat a little bit. When you brine the meat, the fat...
Oh, yeah, you said you might take some of it off.
Yeah, I left the skin and too much fat on. I thought, I want the skin for the cracklies. Mm-hmm. And it's like, the skin being in the brine for that time, it just was... some of it was okay, some of it was weird.
And you're a skin guy.
And I'm a skin guy. And the fat... And the fat changes its consistency. So I don't know about doing... I have no idea, but my first guess would say that pancetta being 85% fat...
Probably not a no-go on
No,
the brine.
better under the salt, wash it, and then cure it like that. So next time maybe I'll smoke it if I can figure out a smoker, and it came out okay. First time.
It was. I enjoyed it greatly.
Other things.
My nickname is Ham Sammy.
Ham Sammy. Moving on. So we like a comedian named Tim Dillon. If you're not easily offended, check out a comedian. Just type him into Google or YouTube or whatever. Tim Dillon, and he's hysterical. Anyway, he did this bit over the autumn about fake business and how...
And not a bit. It was a part on his podcast that was true. But
he calls it fake business. And what is fake business? Well, he's bored during the pandemic, so he'll call different commercial real estate agents representing fake that he's representing fake clients in overseas, and they're interested in the property on Rodeo Drive. They want to know
He's got a few questions.
He's got a few questions: price per square foot, any restrictions,
when he can get in there to check it out.
And it occurred to us the other day that we do fake business all the time as well.
Our fake business is booming, actually.
Now, we will...
And it seems like for a lot of other expats in Italy who have bed and breakfasts, it's booming as well. According to them, they're fully booked. So it sounds like their fake business is booming.
So why do I bring this up? Because we've been getting emails in the last 2 weeks or so about inquiries for this year, next year, 2023.
2024.
And to me, it's all fake business. Why is this fake business? Now, I don't think these people really do this. I don't think they're sending an inquiry trying to be deceptive or knowing or really not interested.
No, I think they're being hopeful, wishful, want to just dream for a minute. But you guys, reality check. We all know no one knows what's going on anytime soon.
There's no way. There's no...
We just have been able to leave our town. How are you coming into Italy? Like,
how are you coming here in July with 2 couples and want to inquiry about a week? Come on.
I know. It just seems so far from our day-to-day train of thought of, like I said, being able to leave anything from the grocery store, of going, why are we getting these questions right now? It's so hard. And I know you guys are just excited and chomping at the bit to travel, but it does feel a little like fake business. My girlfriend in Seattle runs amazing fake business as well as a wedding coordinator.
She's talking to brides every day.
We joke all the time going, oh my God. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having these Zoom calls, setting up weddings. We don't have a clue if we're going to do this. The latest release is that there's no way we could have, or if it is, it's not what you want it to be. And so that's kind of our feeling on fake business is booming.
So, of course, we entertain all the questions, but it's kind of like...
Oh, well, and by the way, so if you guys are not on a not fake business side of travel, there is a website that the Italian government has put out, and you can go and do this little questionnaire. They have it in English available, and you do this short questionnaire if you're trying to plan a trip to Italy on whether you're allowed in, what the regulations, restrictions, quarantine, all of the details are there, the qualifications you need to get in, etc. And they're going to supposedly keep it up to date. If so, this would be wow. Okay, so the website, I'll put it up online also, but it's infocovid.via.
Don't do that. It's viaggisecuri.it/returning to Italy.html. No one, you just have to put up the link. sr.edu.k-12.
Anyway, it's pretty straightforward. And for those of you conducting fake business, this is a great site to go to continue that.
And if you're saying, I don't conduct fake business, we really want to go on vacation. Put your money where your mouth is, baby. Buy the plane ticket. Book it. But you're not, because no one knows what's going on, and things change from day to day. So even if the vaccine rollout in basically every country is just a disaster. It's a cluster. So even if everyone, do you really think even if it was possible to give everyone the vaccine in the next few months, do you really think that just means everyone's going to open everything up? Like the vaccine's the panacea and that's it?
I know. It's a mess.
No, it's a mess. Stop doing fake business.
So,
we're guilty of this as well.
Oh, we've been conducting fake business ourselves.
Lots of fake business.
Yes. By visiting real estate agents and multiple geometrists.
So we've been trying to research what the echo bonus.
Yes, we had mentioned it on the last podcast.
And the seismic bonus is there's talk around town that you will there's 110% grants for restoring ruined properties in a ecological way or a green way. Mm-hmm. So we thought, oh, well, that's very interesting. Let's go check that out. Now, we thought it was this was a program from the European Union. It's not. It's a program from the Italian government. Red flag one. So that's who's organizing this whole thing. Now, what we found out is it's not 110. It's not like they pay you to restore a house. That's not how it works. They pay for X amount of percentage, 50 or 40 and 60, right?
I think
40% of the outside parts if you do it in a green way, meaning they'll pay for 40% of the roof if you do a double glazed windows, those kind of things.
Energy efficient buildings, or if you wanted, if you do the new type of stone that doesn't pass the air as much, whatever. Okay, so 50% of that, or 40% of the cost of that. Then 60% of the cost of the interior. So those are the systems. So if you put in a really in-floor heating.
If you put in solar panels, if you put in a very efficient caldaie, hot water tank system, doors, like big thicker doors or whatever.
Yeah, and the windows.
They'll pay 60% of that. So we're at 100%. But it's not 100%. It's 40 and 60. So they split it up. Then the 10% comes in the form of interest on whoever's floating the loan. Okay, so someone's got to pay for this up front because the Italian government has 8 years to release the money. Someone has to float this loan for up to 8 years. Now, who's going to do that? Well, you can have the bank do it, and they get 10% interest. That's where the 110% comes from. Or you can have, if you hire like a big construction firm, they could float, it's their materials and their labor, so they can float the loan for the 8 years. Or if you have the money yourself, you can loan yourself money and make 10% off loaning yourself money by just financing the whole thing yourself. The sticky part of this is two things. One, the Italian government has 8 years to come by and control to make, because the builders have to do what's called auto certify. They have to sign all these forms saying it stands up to the law in the way it is written. in the energy,
like the checks and
the energy class. So they sign off on it now. Then eventually the Italian state comes around
within 8
years, checks to make sure that's true, and then we'll release back the funds. It could take they have up to 8. The part about that is all these builders are on the hook for 8 years, meaning they're liable for this.
Word on the street is they're
not really into it.
No.
Because apparently it's not a question. There's a lot of different ways to calculate the thermal
square meters and the
thermal. What's the word in English? Like how well the house holds its thermal
retention.
Retention. There you go. There's a lot of different ways to calculate that. So if they calculate it, and you're only allowed to be off by like 2% on the whole thing.
Which I think that's part what scares the Italians. Whoa, we're a lot more gray than 2%.
Yeah, sometimes I miss the decimal points.
Così, pure meno. Pure meno 2%. Oh, no, we can't be pure meno anymore.
No. So in 8 years, if they made a mathematical error or if there's a different way that they calculate the, who knows? That's not my job. I don't know, but I can understand the gist of it. They're liable for it. And then the state will not release the funds because it didn't meet the requirements in the first place. And that's why they're not paying for it up front. We made 3 different firms. None of them have had clients that have been approved for this. All of their clients are still in the phase of making the paperwork.
No one has seen a green light.
No one knows
anyone who has started it.
This program was announced in July, and then in December, after Christmas, the 28th of December or the 29th, they released an amendment to the rules and changed everything.
So now it's this total, now everyone's trying to figure it all out. So it has been clear at each one of these meetings, everyone's confused, or there's confusion or gray area, or because we've been trying to research it. We always kind of start with, we've tried to research it and study this, but we're a bit confused. And they all go, we are too. We go, okay.
So again,
good news, bad news.
Is this fake business?
A little bit.
Is the whole country of Italy conducting fake business?
A little bit. So what fake business are you conducting is my question. Oh, my God. Oh, a little more on fake business. Our neighbor, Pasquale, at the beginning of the road, he's conducting his own fake business by sending a very sternly written letter to the heads of the 5 different comunes along our road, and the head of the Regione Marche and head of the province, that our road is unacceptable. And what's funny is Pasquale is great. It's great that he's sending this. Someone needs to, but someone has. We've done it multiple times throughout the years to no avail. Pasquale only recently moved along our road. He's from town. He's from Piobico, and his family has many of the first three houses along our road. And he moved into one over the winter. Well, it's been a few short months, and this road is unacceptable. It's like, yes,
no shit.
But their family is well connected and have been mayors and things in the past and all of that. So hopefully some of these connections will pull some strings. But
I'm jaded. I think it's a waste of time.
But his fake business declared a fake meeting on either the 10th or the 20th.
Well, it might be a real meeting, but it'll be conducting fake business.
Yes.
Just to talk about it.
Sicurezza, in privacy, in a secure setting, in a private setting, we can come.
We're going to talk about, we need to decide whether the road is shit or not. And I can skip this meeting and tell you, yes, the road is shit. Anything you will do will be an improvement. They have done nothing.
Oh, my gosh. And at this point, with everything, where are the funds to fix this road?
There's no funds to fix this road. So to me, this is all fake business. I doubt you'll get all the people who he invited to show up.
I'll be there.
The main reason to show up to these things is for the nosh after. And now, since there's COVID, there's no reason to show up. Normally, these things have a pretty good spread. We went to one for some sleep mattress,
so weird.
It was weird.
Our first year.
It was our first year here, and our neighbor Giancarlo said, "Come on down. We're having a we're having
kind of like a Tupperware party,
but
or
for mattresses.
But for mattresses.
And this sad guy got up there and did his spiel like in a monotone voice about this mattress that cost. I don't know.
It was like a Tempur-Pedic therapeutic.
It was like he's talking to a bunch of farmers, and this is a 1,500-euro mattress, and it's just like. And I'm like, what are all these people? Like, how do you get all these people to come down here? And then at the end, I found out why all these people were here. They put out a giant spread, and it was like these people have never eaten before in their entire lives. They attacked. It was, prosciutto and salami and cheeses and crostadas and a lot of fingery food stuff.
And just water bottles refilled with white wine or red wine.
Yeah. And everyone just filled up, and as soon as the table was gone, so was everyone. So was all the people. No one bought a mattress.
So no one's going to fix our road, but hopefully we'll get a nice little.
No, it's COVID.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going.
Shoot.
There's no nosh.
Oh my God. So as we said, business is booming.
Fake business
is booming.
But we need to think of real business to do, because we cannot have another year with no guests or hardly any guests, as much as we'd like to have guests. So we've been knocking around ideas and trying to figure out what to do, and I have started to laminate dough.
Oh, yeah.
What is lamination of dough, you ask? Lamination of dough is where you take a block of butter and you do a certain fold so that you put layers of butter and this dough in between and make what's called puff pastry or pâté feuilleté. I don't think I said that right in French, but it's what you make croissants out of. Yeah, there you go. It's what you make croissants out of. And this dough is a pain in the ass to make. But if you get it right, it creates the most flaky, buttery, lightest croissant in the entire world. And my idea is these at the bars, they serve the worst. It's called the cornetto, and it sucks. It's a shitty version of a French croissant. People buy them all the time. They love to eat them. They love them filled with like chocolate or cream. They're gross. They're not good. They're not worth it. Believe me, if it was remotely worth it, I would eat them all the time. It's not. However, a butter croissant is delicious, is worth it. And I think it's something that they would eat, but it's going to cost more money. So I have to figure out, will people, if a cafe and cornetto costs €2, $2.25, will someone be willing to spend €3 for a cafe and a croissant au beurre?
I don't know, but Jason's practicing.
I'm practicing.
And
we're okay.
First
few attempts. Ooh, I'm 60% there.
Yeah, you haven't done this since culinary school, have you?
Not by hand.
No, that's what I mean.
Not by hand.
So back to the basics.
It's not it's not impossible to do. It's just a lot of steps with.
Oh yeah, because when you were at the in school, you guys had like the marble table. Would you use a marble table for
this?
this?
You use a frozen, chilled marble countertop and blah, 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 and everything. And the butter is
properly sized out? Or did you have to bang it out too?
You still had to bang it out, but it's the good butter. That's the problem here. The butter in our area has a lot of milk compared to the fat. Whereas that French butter is that yellow, like really, really fatty, beautiful butter. And if you have too much, if you have cheap butter, when it cooks, the water comes out of the butter and doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So I got to work on that, and I have to work on my fold and my. It has to be perfect, like it has to be totally squared up. We'll work on it. We might buy a sheeter here, and then the game is on. If I get a sheeter is just a machine that you can, with basically 2 rolling pins, one on the bottom and one on the top, and a belt, and you just shove the dough through there, and you can set it to any size, and it does the roll for you in a mechanical way, so it's much more precise.
Once he gets this down, pain chocolat?
Pain raisin, pain chocolat, and croissant. But we'll see. And then we're doing this in the winter, too, which makes it easier because the butter doesn't melt as quick, and it kind of stays. You can't have the butter melt. If it melts while you're rolling it out, you're screwed. So what happens when it's 30 degrees?
Oh, you got to work quick. You better be good.
I was thinking about that the other night. If we do this, I'm going to become a vampire. In the middle of summer, you'd have to start when the sun goes down. Well, we're putting the cart against. We're putting the cart.
More fake business.
More fake business.
Well, we're going to have to wrap it up. We got to take this sweet boy cat back to the vet and let's get the day started.
Yep, more burning, more cutting down, more clearing brush.
Yep, feeling good.
Feeling good, getting in shape, and move your fat body.
All right, well, have a wonderful week. Thank you guys for listening. You can find us if you want to conduct your own fake business at latavolamarche.com, LATAVOLAMARCHE. Ciao, ciao.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.